Hey folks, so this is Sam from Edwards, Virginia Smokehouse, and welcome to Cured Meat Q&A, where my dad and curemaster Sam Edwards, along with our wholesale manager Keith Roberts, answer your questions about all things country ham and the world of cured meats. What is the difference in process and taste between corned ham and cured ham?
Corned ham is nothing but a fresh ham that's been put in salt. And cured ham is a ham that's typically been, in our case, been cured in salt for about 30 days, which a cured ham is a ham that's been cured for about 21 to 30 days, and that's it. Take it out and you eat it. Whereas a cured ham, it's the 30-day process, and then it goes through springtime, and then it goes through smoking and then aging for, depending on the type of ham, 3 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months. In the old days, when they would slaughter the hog in the winter, in January and February, and they're hungry. It's time to eat something. And they take one of those hams out before it was fully cured for Easter, sometimes even. And it's time to eat something, so they would eat a corned ham. So people got used to eating that younger ham for Easter, and that was called a corned ham. Maybe it had some smoke on it.
Some corned ham brined, Sam?
Yeah, but in our neck of the woods, it wasn't. It was typically put in dry salt.
Are there any plans to bring back your Berkshire bacon?
No. Now, it's a function of availability. The people that we're buying Berkshire pork from, this all may change, but what happened when we first started buying Berkshire pork, we were buying Berkshire bellies, and we loved it. And we found a market for it pretty quickly. And all of a sudden, the chefs started paying crazy prices for it, which drove the market up, which we couldn't afford to cure it and sell it as sliced bacon any longer. So the market dried up for us. And but now, on the pandemic market, it may be that we may get back into it because unfortunately there's a lot of restaurants that are suffering right now. So maybe Berkshire bellies will become available again to us. We'll see. I hate to say that we're going to get back in the market because of a pandemic, but we certainly would be interested in bringing it back.
How long can cured bacon be unrefrigerated, and can you still eat it?
If it's pumped water-added bacon, you can't keep it unrefrigerated. If it's dry salt cured and you've got a salt content of, say, 4%, which a typical country bacon, dry cured country bacon does, and the water activity is in the 0.9 range, in theory, you can leave it off refrigeration, period, for a long, long time. How do customers know that? You don't. Personally, I do. People that cure country meats at home know how to do that. If you want to dry cure your own, you use 60% salt, 40% sugar. Get your fresh belly and dry cure it yourself. Leave it in salt and sugar for a week. Hang it up, wash it off, hang it up, smoke it. Leave it in your smokehouse hanging. Well, you should actually dry cure it in a refrigerator. And then once it's gone through that process, smoke it at 80 degrees and then hang it up in your closet, dry smokehouse, whatever you want to do outside. Biggest problem you're going to have is keeping the insects off of it, but it'll be fine. Continue to let it dry, and it's going to dry outside. If it smells okay, it's probably okay.
And Sammy, just to reiterate on that point, at one time, I guess this was probably about 6 years ago when we brought in some Mangalista ham product, both hams and bellies. We had a total of 20 bellies that had gone through the 30-day or the 60/40 salt sugar cure for a week, balanced them out for 3 days, smoked them, and they actually hung in the aging room. By the time a chef bought the last 6 bellies, they had actually been hanging in the Suriano aging room, so temperature and humidity controlled, for almost 2 years. There was one particular belly that got a little bit smaller every week to 3 weeks, as doing a little QA just to make sure it was still fine. And, needless to say, the Mangalese is a pretty fatty belly. But boy, it was really, really good, with basically 2 years on it hanging in that controlled environment after it had gone through the cure and smoke process.
And another thing too, we provided some of our dry cured bellies for a show on PBS where they did filmed or documented people living like they did on the prairie years ago, where they had I forgot what they call them. It's like a little cave out behind the ice house, out behind their cabin, and they hung it up in this little mound. It looked like a mound of dirt, really, out behind their cabin, and hung the bellies up. Of course, they got moldy, but you just washed it off. But they cut off pieces of it as the weeks progressed. Took a piece of twine, cut a hole through it, hung it up in there, and that's what they ate off of for weeks, months. Again, this product was developed before there was refrigeration. Now, is the USDA okay with that? We can't say that. I believe it's 28 days is what we have on the label.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is crazy, but that's what the USDA requires us to say.
Yeah, I mean, minimum 8 to 10 weeks without a problem. I mean, I've had a pack of bacon in the fridge for months. And again, it goes back to, if it smells okay, it probably is okay.
Look, under the circumstances, what everybody's experiencing under the COVID pandemic thing, they even had a thing on ABC the other day where everybody's packaging has a best by date on it. And it's not about food safety. It's about quality.
Product integrity.
Product integrity. And like, people were throwing out eggs after, 10 days. Well, eggs can last 4 or 5 weeks without any problem. And again, milk, you pick up milk. If it smells okay, it's probably okay. It's the same way with meat. If you take a whiff and it smells okay, then go ahead and eat it. People have gotten away from that because they're so used to looking at that date and, well, I'm not eating that. It says it's Best Buy. It says this date's on it, so I got to throw it away. But you know what? When you're in a pandemic, people's minds changed a little bit, and they bought all that food and they didn't eat it. Maybe you need to rethink that. If it smells okay, eat it.
Well, Sammy, here's another one. I mean, it's not bacon, but it goes back to country ham. Our youngest son, he actually brought an 8-ounce pack of cooked country ham slices in to make a sandwich. Now, again, this is 6 months ago when he did this. We haven't produced an 8-ounce pack of country hams, cooked slices, since the fire.
Right.
And I said, and it had the old label on it. And I said, "Where did you find that?" And he said, "Oh, it was buried in the bottom, garage fridge produce drawer under some other stuff."
So it wasn't even frozen?
No.
Yeah.
So we're talking 3.5 years. It was amazing. But it went back to, smelled okay. Smelled like a wigwam by that point.
Mm-hmm.
But it was absolutely incredible from a flavor profile standpoint. So, I mean, it goes back to what Sam said earlier. The recipes we're following date back to Jamestown, when there was no refrigeration. you had root cellars. And it goes to, common sense versus certain state and federal regulations that require us to make statements. I don't want to say that are misleading, but take away from that common sense approach to understanding what our food is all about.
Got a cured meat question? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.